Hello. My second video today, I'm going to be talking about what part does the Bible play in our lives. I just happen to be raised in church, so um, I've heard a lot about the Bible and if you know anything about church, almost every sermon that you hear has some Bible verse or or some basis in the Bible. Um, there are a lot of different types of sermons. Sometimes you'll hear kind of a basic thing where people will just list verses. Sometimes I've seen the whole sermon be literally about stories in the Bible, um, more or less kind of like a history lesson. I haven't really seen a lot of like um, sermons in a church that don't focus on some aspect of the Bible, which I think makes sense. But I just happen to feel like when I look at my own life and when I look at, I guess, people more my age and stuff like that, I feel like it's there's not as much focus on the Bible as there used to be. Um, I mean, like I said, if I look at my own life, I feel like God has really just taken me away from the Bible um, more so focused on learning things in my daily life. I kind of just look at the Bible more like there are things you can learn through it as you get older, but it's really more of a focus when you're younger. It's a great foundation for trying to get some type of introduction to God and Jesus. I do find some things in the Bible very interesting. I find the difference between the Old Testament and New Testament very interesting, and there's little things sometimes that I feel like are useful to what I'm thinking about in life. But a lot of it, and I guess I've heard people kind of feel this way, is just kind of like stories and maybe even maybe people even look at it like fairy tales and stuff like that. Like I kind of get that end of it too. Um, I just I think for that reason, I don't like to focus on it much myself. I don't really like to I don't really feel like there's much useful for me in the Bible. You'll see these little devotionals. I try to read a little devotional every day, and they always have a little verse on it. And I don't really ever read the verses. I sometimes wonder why they put them in there, but I'm assuming that a lot of people do find it useful to read a little scripture a day or something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It can be helpful depending on where you're at, but um, I just, like I said, I find in my life um, there's more trying to learn through experiences in life with God for me. Um, but like I said, I am glad to have read the Bible mostly when I was young. It's like I said, it's a very good foundation just to kind of understand where things started. Um, there are certain things in life where like you can um, you can have experiences that kind of help you um, look at things differently in the Bible too. It's no different than kind of looking back and understanding what you went through as a child more once you get older. You can kind of see some more things if you do take the time to read the Bible as you get older. Um, but like I said, um, I don't really spend much time with the Bible myself. Um, I think there was a few years ago where I was trying to find something that I I wanted to get, I guess, more in my relationship with God. So I tried to read through the Bible, and I would read like a chapter every night, and maybe in the morning too. But um, I didn't really like. There were sometimes I would see a little something different. Just with some of the things I've gone through, I have seen some things differently. But I just haven't really found much use for the Bible myself, and so, like, the things that probably mean more to me are, um, I guess, kind of like I try to make these videos. Um, I've seen some videos with younger people that are really just trying to put information out there that they've learned from God. I think that's more the direction people are trying to go these days. It's it's really more to me about trying to give examples and life lessons and things like that through actual experiences. Don't get me wrong, like I still like to you know find some references in the Bible for like what we um, what we should and shouldn't do, or like the other day I think I was looking at what the Bible considers a sin. But the people have gone through some really difficult stuff, and sometimes it really does help to hear from somebody's experience. I know there was this couple I was watching that had gone through some things, and they still believed in God, but they didn't really use any scriptures in what they were talking about. And so I feel like that's kind of more where things are right now. Don't get me wrong, if you still go into a church, it'll be a lot of scriptures and a lot of Bible-based things, but I just haven't really found that stuff to be too useful for me. The last church I went to, I remember, um, it seemed like there were at least 5 or 6 verses the entire sermon, and it felt like too much. I mean, I'm not saying there shouldn't be any scripture. I mean, maybe there should be at least one or two, but almost everywhere I go to, I even watch Joyce Meyer sometimes, and I feel like it's just a lot of scripture, and sometimes it doesn't really feel like it's relevant to what the person's talking about. Um, I don't see how they're trying to pull from the Bible itself into what they're talking about, but um, I think they kind of have an understanding themselves, but it can sometimes be confusing more than anything. Like um, it's really important to try to pull a scripture from something relevant to the conversation. I think that's also hard. Like, when things have changed so much in the world, like they have, it's not always easy to find something that's relevant from the Bible. Um, and even if it somehow is, it may not make sense to the viewer. So I just uh, want to help encourage people if they feel like sometimes um, they get tired of hearing scriptures, and they're not really sure how the Bible comes into play and in life and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way. That's kind of how I feel. Um, it was really beneficial for me as a child, I think, to go through it and hear everything. But now I kind of just changed into I guess sometimes maybe wanting things more directly from God, and then learning through my own experiences with God. That teaches me more sometimes than even the Bible. I think that's why I also have trouble with the Bible, because there's been so many things that, like, yes, there's the foundation of the Bible, but like God will teach me things that like I don't really think that I could even find in the Bible, and it's not really the same kind of experience to try to look and see, oh well, did this person have bipolar in the Bible. I mean, they're not going to be talking about stuff like that. Um, so you have you really have the foundation of the Bible, and then you go from there with everything God teaches you Himself. Um, it's not really like I need to read my Bible every day, and I need to. That can kind of get into religiousness. You kind of just have to hold on loosely, I guess, to the Bible and religion and stuff. There's kind of like an openness that you just constantly have to have if you're gonna follow God. It's um, just be open to anything that comes your way. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.